Good evening. My name is Olowokere Thompson. I'm calling from Denmark, Copenhagen. To our potential candidate, I'm from Ibaraudu. I learned this invitation from Mr. Tayo Fakun. My question to you, sir, is how do you going to, what are your programs on the SME? These are the power problem in Ekiti. I mean, electricity problem in Ekiti and SME development, which are the basis of employment generation. How are you going to go about it? What are the programs you think you can put in place for this before the diaspora people can bring their money in for this or bring investment to that state if you eventually become the governor of the state? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Your question is one of the key area that if we don't solve that problem also, we will just be talking. You understand? Electricity is key. But right now in Ekiti, even Ekiti as of today, our total requirement is not even up to 10 megawatts. Our consumption needs right now. But we don't even have it. We don't have it. Talk less of projecting for when we start to industrialize the state, which we have to do anyway. So you see the way the power arrangement in Nigeria as of today is very, very complex. The way they've done it, because it is currently under, I think, Benin Electricity Distribution Company. Those are the people that are supplying us power right now. And they don't prioritize us. You know why? Because they know that we don't have money, we don't have industries. The revenue they're getting from Ekiti, next to nothing compared to the other locations where they cover. So as a business person, you will focus on where you get more money. You understand? So now, the solution, number one, there's some part of Ekiti, especially in the Ekiti southern area, that they've not had power for years. Not blink, up to today. None, zero. So the way to solve that problem, of course, will be number one in the short term is to engage with these people, with this Benin Electricity Company, to look at the basic infrastructure they have and see how we can help them. How we can help them to improve in what they have so that they can start shipping power out to us. We have to get engaged with that, because power infrastructure is not something you build overnight, even if we want to start building an IPP and everything. But on the long run, we'll have to figure out how to work with the some kind of investors to have an IPP that will supply power to all the critical area of the state. For example, the one that Afe Babalola just commissioned in Afe Babalola University, although I have not really delved into detail to study it to see what exactly they've done, what kind of IPP is it, I don't know. But I've designated some people to interface with Afe Babalola University and find out exactly what they have done. If they have like additional capacity, yes, we can also put some money in there and expand it. So we can give Ado-Ekiti and Environ more power from there. They can sell to the grid. So these are part of it. But on the long run, this is the plan on the long run. The plan is to work with NGC, the Ministry of Power, Nigerian Gas Company, is to bring a gas pipeline from Ajaokuta. Ajaokuta is the central node for most of the gas distribution network. I designed this pipeline they are building, this Ajaokuta, Abuja, Kaduna, Kano pipeline. I designed it. So I know everything. I designed a major power plant even for Ajaokuta and all the terminal gas stations along the line. So I know about it. Now, is to take a node from Ajaokuta to Omo. Omo is very close to Ajaokuta, We have a gas pipeline that goes there. Then we build a CPF, a Central Processing Facility, more, with which we can distribute gas to most of the major industrial hubs that we're going to create. Then we'll have a major power plant there, a gas-fired power plant. That's but that's on a long-term basis. It's not something that we're going to say we can do in 6 months. It's impossible. You understand? But it's part of what we have listed there in the plan that we need to carry. But in the interim, the first thing we must do, we must put light in people's homes. If we have to work with Afam Babalola, so be it. If we have to work with the electricity distribution company to see what exactly is their problem, maybe we have to guarantee offtake, maybe we have to do something to make it attractive for them to ship to us more power, then for them to also look into studying the grid and removing all the bottlenecks so that we can have more power shipped to various homes. And at the same time, of course, we must make sure that we must get the people also to pay for the power they consume. Because if you don't pay, if the people don't make their money, nothing's going to happen. So that is the plan that we have. But as time goes on, we'll see much more details about power. But I know for sure that we cannot get anywhere without power problem. But if we also rely on leaving these companies and the federal government to take it, we will remain where we are. I intend to put light in all those places where there's no light at all. In that place, within 3 months, whatever it takes, especially in all those John and all those area axes, is to make sure that they have power.
Do you know that Ekiti is losing the major IGR through our land border on our agricultural produce, that we are not taking the tax from it? Do you know this, sir? And how are you going to solve it if eventually you get to know?
Well, I'm aware of what is happening about all those people that carries products. For example, from Ibaraudu. We're also from the same place.
Okay, sir.
Ibaraudu and Ilawe, Ogotun area, most of the plantain that goes to Lagos comes from that area. Sure, you are aware.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
and then they load them out in the night. They drive, all the trucks drives out. There's nobody who collects any kind of taxation from them. I know that some people have been designated by the state government to do this. But what do? They collude with them. Even people that are inside the government today, I'm very familiar with this matter. Collude with them, they take small money, and then they take bribe, and then they go, and they don't. Even what they collect does not go. Even what they collect does not go to the coffers of the government. So I'm aware of all these issues, and we are already putting a plan in place. We're putting a plan in place that we check all these economic leakage. Even if it's 10,000 naira we get from that, is additional money to do something for the people.
Yes, sir.
So I'm very, very up to date on those agricultural issues, because I have somebody who is even working presently with the governor as SA on agri and food security, and brings me on daily basis what is going on in that sector also. So I'm aware.
Yeah, I learned the same thing happened to the Omo Ikole, where the yam is being produced and being taken out of that state in a large quantity every year. So I would like if you can look into this and how we can try to make the state recover the revenue that is getting lost if eventually you are become the governor of that state. That are my contribution for now, and I wish you best of luck. And
thank you, my brother. Ekiti needs every single penny we can legitimately collect from people without overburdening the people, because all these things I'm telling you now, it's going to cost money. If we want to support Benin Electricity Distribution Company, we have to put money on the table, serious money. If we don't, they will just be telling us story. So we need every penny we can get and put it judiciously, to use judiciously, so that the return can come back, to the state. So we will do everything, because it's going to be a serious government. It's not all this cosmetic. I'm not interested in cosmetic governance. I'd rather stay in my office than do that.
Thank you, sir. To our potential governor, my question is, do you have the idea of the debt profile of the state? If you have the idea, sir, how do you see that this thing is not going to affect your government eventually you become the governor in 2022, sir?
Well, the point is, I do have an idea of how much we owe. One of the good things that the current governor has done is that they've actually prepared a financial situation like an audit of the state, which shows the debt profile, everything. They released it not a couple of months ago. I have it. I've studied it. And so that actually makes a lot of sense because now we can see where we are. So we know where we are. There's no way the debt profile will not affect anybody that's going to govern the state. They're actually in red. If there's anything below red right now, that's where we are. So it means that even the money the loan that they've acquired, will continue to be deducted from whatever is the revenue that is coming from the Abuja, to the state for the next foreseeable future.
Wow.
So what that tells us is that we cannot rely on that money coming from Abuja. We got to go find money to build. As of today, the allocation from Abuja to Ekiti is not up to 3 billion naira.
Wow. Including local government?
Yes.
Ah.
So now tell me, and we have 62,000 workers, civil servants, including all the local government employees. At 30,000 naira per head on the average, the wage bill is 1,860 million naira. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
So it shows there's nothing on the table. There's absolutely nothing to fund any capital project. There's nothing. So we're starting from the scratch, my brother.
And that is why we need purposeful governance.
Yes.
And that is why Kayode Ojo is our man. A man who speaks the truth to the people. A man who will allow everybody to partake in governance.
So then how is he going to run the education, health, environment, agriculture?
Mr. Thompson.
How is he going to do it, sir?
Mr. Thompson,
Yeah,
it's an interesting question.
I've told you, Mr. Thompson, that we have to figure out where all the idle cash in the world is. We have to bring it to. That's the only way. We cannot.
Exactly.
There's no money. There's no money there right now as we speak. There's no money, except of course, Nigeria, somehow the federal government is able to find some kind of revenue somewhere, and there's none. Because number one, Nigerian federal government has borrowed so much, we're servicing a lot of debts. So that has reduced significantly the amount of money that is available to share. That's why you see them devaluing the Naira all the time, so they can have more volume of Naira to share to the states. But it's counterproductive because the more you devalue the Naira, the more everything gets expensive. You have to spend more on everything. So that value you are getting makes no sense. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So this is where we are. That's why I'm saying that going then, if you want to be a governor of a state like Ekiti, and you are not willing to sacrifice and think out of the box and look for alternative source of funding of the state without necessarily plunging the state further into debt, then you're not ready. You can't do it. It's not possible. Except you just want to go there, gallivant like the other person, not pay salaries, just get out. That's why we have to have civil service reforms. The civil servant takes almost 80 to 85% of all the revenue that comes to the state as we speak. And they are not, the generality of civil services, they are not productive.